Dark we have coming up. So you've been to one. You went to the last
The
one.
steampunk.
Yeah. Was that your first time at a...
That was my first time at the museum, first time at Art After Dark.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
It was awesome. It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was a good event.
We had such a great response from that event.
Yeah.
And
it was
one
cool.
of the board members, though, did say he wants to see more. You know, so I'm like, okay, what else can we do? We can have performers and dancers and exactly, like more visual stimulation. Because I mean, we have the art on the walls, we have the music. You know, I think we just need more performers. And I think that's where you would come in and do something, you know, unique, site-specific.
Yeah.
We were thinking fire because the theme is Garden of Earthly Delights.
Okay.
The theme really was spawned from our Imogen Cunningham show, his Garden of Earthly Delights, and how much fun that image is. Just having some of that kind of come into the museum, something fun and erotic.
And so I thought about creating sort of a set of sorts that had these different cages in them, and then creating these like giant bird masks. So I don't know how many performers there'd be, maybe 2 or 3 with these, you know, women with these like big bird heads sort of interacting with these cages, and then maybe even having some smaller cages with real birds in them. So there's this sort of constant flow of energy around the site. And then it becomes sort of this moving, living sculpture.
So Rebecca, not coming in as a say unpaid fire performer, but as a performance artist involving fire and dance.
Right.
What sort of recognition could the Oceanside Museum offer that could help her with her career building? And where would it be? Where would it be?
Well, the
seen?
cachet of performing at a museum, you know, we provide that, of course, you know, for resume building. You could have it filmed and then put it on your website. It's an experience for you to present something in a museum setting.
Yeah.
You know, with a whole new audience of people.
Will it be in print anywhere on the
Oh,
website?
yeah. Oh, it'll be on the website. It'll be, and if you could get me something, I could maybe even put it on the postcard. So you would be pretty much the signature artist for the event.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The time and the energy of creating it is what I feel like my gift is, what I can offer. But in terms of like paying for the materials and also getting other performers to want to do it, like unfortunately just saying, oh, but you'll get to perform in a museum for a skilled fire performer, they're like, yeah, well, we've performed all over the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, that sounds nice, but you know, I want to be able to make sure that both I'm not, you know, I can't go in the hole anymore, you know? Right. I'm willing to donate my time, but it's the donating the materials and things like that that becomes a little bit more like I have to take time off of work to create. Right.
So I kind of would love something to happen all night. It starts 7 to 10. It's kind of a long time.
I want to put it delicately. It's really gonna, if you can get more money, then that becomes more and more possible to like continue that sort of the energy in that and creating more sort of interactive things to happen.
Before we leave the subject of budget, honey, I'll match if you can support like half in the marketing budget for her to hire dancers and to create these masks to make sure this is awesome. I'll match it.
Like if we could give 200.
If you can give 200, we'll give 200. If you can give 250, I'll give 250.
Okay, so I'll ask Ed for
fantastic.
250.
Fantastic.
It felt really good. It felt really good. I definitely was hoping for a little bit more funding from them. The $200 offer was definitely like, I don't know. Even with, you know, the matching that April really generously offered, I had sort of set a limit for myself of what I would be willing to do. And if it's not going to be 500, then I've said, you know, if I can't get a minimum of 500, I just need to back away and not do it because it ends up being way too stressful for me.
I think it went great with Rebecca. You know, we're really excited about what she's going to do for the next Art After Dark. I'm just blown away by her idea.
You know, I'm at a point right now where it's, you just have to say, this is what I'm worth. And honestly, I know that I mean, in terms of monetary amount, I had to think, it's not just about the money, it's about the money and the PR and the getting my name out there and the recognition of performing at a museum, and you know, that's a part of it. That's an asset. That's payment for me. if the money comes through, then that'll feel really good. It's bad for artists everywhere to work for less than that. You know, you have to have some kind of standard for yourself. So it is hard. You know, it's hard to look someone in the eye and then when you say the number, have their face kind of do this like weird thing, which hers did.
The hardest part about working with an artist is not being able to compensate them for what they bring to the table. I mean, obviously she's going to spend hours of time creating this and spend time performing it. So, you know, we want to try and compensate her as best we can, but honestly our budget is just so bare bones. You know, we're going to try and see what we can do. I'm going to talk to the director and look at our budget for this event for the whole year. You know, and if we have to skimp on another one in the future, then we do, because I think this is going to be important for us.
So much for like backing me up and telling me to like just ask for it, and I just really appreciate the support. It's intense.
Right, honey, you're awesome.
You're awesome.
The only thing she knew about Rebecca's art was that she saw her fire spinning at Synergy, right? The little skirt thing, and she thought, oh, that would be great for my thing. It wasn't about her art.
Right.
And now it totally will be. Oh, I couldn't be more proud, not only of Rebecca, but of Danielle Susala and the Oceanside Museum of Art. Obviously, we're still waiting to hear what the response will be to that pitch, but the Oceanside Museum of Art has a reputation for supporting regional artists and for really taking it up a notch and finding gems in the community and showing them off. The challenge is transitioning the understandable habit of not paying artists for their work, because obviously this is a nonprofit, this is a fundraiser, we understand that, but artists need to eat. And like any business that would donate their work product or their service to a fundraiser, the artist needs to wield the promotional opportunity or do it at cost or what have you, and use the skills that work in business and leverage those for their own career. And now the real work begins. She can do it, no problem.
Aren't they pretty, Yona? Can we get one, please? Sure. It's been a long day, but I'm super excited. The birds are here and they're beautiful, and all my performers just got here and they're beautiful, and I've had so much amazing support. So it's all happening here in like, I don't know, an hour.
So what happened?
Basically, one of my props got stolen out of my front yard. Yeah, in the last couple of days, and we didn't recognize it. I don't park where it was taken from, so I didn't notice it was gone until today. But my neighbors saw a couple of guys pull up in a truck and run off with my cage sculpture. So I've kind of replaced them with these other bits here, these other big parts of another sculpture that are now going to be a part of the piece, and it's all going to be perfect. But it's definitely been a harrowing day.
When Rebecca told me, I was very concerned, but it sounds like she was so flexible and was able to kind of create a new piece. So it was kind of a happy accident.
Literally, you're an hour before the show. That's got to be nerve-wracking.
It's not really that nerve-wracking. It's kind of like the calm before the storm. I mean, I've been performing long enough that I get jitters right before I go on, like 30 seconds. But for right now, I feel really good and excited and proud and happy and just excited in general.
You're smiling.
Yeah, I know. Hi, guys. Hi. Okay, so you guys are, you know, my skeleton-faced lovelies. You found the makeup. There are spiders. If you want to put spiders onto you in different places, but I'm going to just trust you with the makeup. You guys all.
I'm going to show you what I'm going to do.
Okay. And T, I would like for us to put the heads on and just go move around upstairs before people get here and make sure that we can get in and out of things and see sort of what that space is like.
Okay.
And essentially what's going to happen is pre-fire, what we'll do is we'll take the birds off and we're going to put them to the side. Those cages that have the torches in them with fire can then be brought out and hung up where the birds are.
Okay.
So it'll be sort of like a switching out the live birds for fire. Yeah, so that'll work out perfectly. you'll put us where you want us to be. You'll get the fire tools from her. We'll be in position to take the fire tools. Then you hand them to us, and then you light us.
Okay.
You'll sort of be responsible for lighting. You can eat, right?
Sure. I mean, I can.
You can eat them out.
Can you eat them out?
Sure.
Okay.
I can also eat them out.
Sure or yes? Have you done it before?
I've done it once.
Okay, let's, all right, we'll see, maybe we won't do that. Cut that from the record.
I'll be putting mine on this way.
That's fine.
And it'll open a fair amount that way, or you can pull out the top one and that one and it'll open hinge from the bottom here. So you could like put us, one of the things you could do would be to put us here. Like, I don't know if that'll work for me, it might work for Teresa.
Do you want to try getting it all the way in? How do you feel about only using one pin?
That's fine.
Okay.
You can also wheel us around inside of here.
You're going to be basically eye on the whole stage, especially when there's fire. Duvet on hand all the time. We need to make sure that the fire extinguisher is easily accessible. Well, I mean, I guess the whole totality of the performance really is inspired by the Bosch painting of Earthly Delights and sort of the heaven and hell part of it. And I guess in my mind, the hell that I've created is probably not that bad. It's definitely a little bit more of a sensual playground than it is, you know, damnation. Kind of the life of these animals and the life that they bring to the stage is something that I want people to really be able to see and appreciate, and sort of the strange, eerie sensuality of it. And I guess ultimately what I'm trying to create is not really a performance so much as a living painting or a living sculpture that people can sort of check in with and enjoy throughout the night. But it's not about like a beginning, a middle, and an end so much as this sort of like sensual tableau experience they can sort of enjoy throughout the course of the evening.
It's phenomenal. I had to drive 1.5 miles to get to something that normally I might have had to go to Balboa Park or something like that for. It was amazing. And then when I found out someone standing next to me knew someone who found out that one of the people was actually the artist of the sculptures, so that was even more amazing.
The whole thing of capture and release and the eroticness and strangeness of it, but done with such a docile sweetness, perfectly captured the painting, totally honored the mission of the night. So proud of Miss Rebecca.
I think it's a wonderful production. Everything is really well put together. The colors are so bright and invigorating, and just being here, the atmosphere and the show, and it's just so weird and cool and different.
It felt amazing. It felt really good. Yeah, I just needed to like have the closure at the end of like the completion of the story, and we were trying to do non-narrative, but it's just so hard because it's a progression. You know, the way that we were kind of working it was just to be in the flow and sort of like letting things evolve as they wanted to evolve, and sort of, I set these parameters, but it's performance, and it's, unless you're doing like a Shakespeare play, I don't know, I feel like the beauty of performance is that it just opens and evolves as you are doing it, so it's just sort of created as you're going. I feel really good. I feel really, really good. I'm really excited to have had this opportunity to perform at a museum for the first time. You know, the thing that I've sort of been up against or battled with is the, how much of it's art and how much of it is entertainment. And there's an element where it's just like, you want the crowd to feel wowed and happy and excited by what you're doing, as well as like provoked and stimulated at the same time, so.
I'm blown away.
Yeah, I have some amazing friends that have come out and helped me